everybody. As promised, here is Melissa Manchester. Oh my goodness, how excited am I? Aww. Anyway, this is Cheryl Aronson from the Hollywood 360, and I am with the gorgeous, talented, wonderful human being, Melissa Manchester. And we are going to be talking today about her newest album. In fact, everybody, it's her 21st album. This young lady has been at it for quite a while. As you read in my article, I interviewed Melissa, and you told me, Melissa, you and Barry Manilow and Ashford and Simpson, you were all together in New York as writers.
Oh, no, as Jingle Singers.
Oh, Jingle Singers.
Yes.
Okay, as Jingle Singers. So that was back a little further back in time. And now today, she is going to tell us all about her newest album, The Fellas. My question I want to ask you, because I love the fact that this is based on some wonderful men, and it's kind of the more old-fashioned style of singing. So talk about why you did this.
Well, The Fellas is my 21st album, and it is the completion of an idea, really. In 1989, I recorded an album called Tribute, and it was my tribute to several of the women singers who meant so much to me. And I always wanted to do a follow-up of that idea with The Fellas, paying tribute to several of the great men that meant so much to me. This is the music of my childhood. This is the music that was played. We lived in New York, my parents and my sister and I. This is the music that was played on WNEW, hosted by William B. Williams, who coined the phrase for Sinatra, chairman of the board. And so this was the music of my youth. And not only were they great singers like Sinatra and Tony Bennett and Johnny Mathis and all that, but it was in that era when there were great songwriters who would write magnificent songs suited for their voices. And so, and the thrilling part for me, not only to complete the idea, but to record this with the Blue Note Orchestra of Citrus College. This is their big band made up of students and alums and professors. It's just thrilling.
You talked to me before about songwriting, and we talked about the great lyrics like you were just talking about. Can you talk about why it's so important to preserve this music, this kind of songwriting?
Well, the reason that it's important to me is that this group of songs, for instance, are from the golden age, I think, of the American songbook. The construction of melody when songs were still melody-driven, which enabled lyrics to have long developed ideas, which allowed singers to sing long expressive thoughts, I think created a platinum standard of how to express oneself in a 3.5-minute world. And that's why it's important to me. And I think it still applies, even though the aesthetic of popular songwriting has changed, and it's changed because rhythm is now the driving force in popular songs as opposed to melody. But be that as it may, I just think it's an exquisite marker for listeners and for young people. For my students, for instance, I always assign them songs from either the first volume of the American Songbook, which was created by George Gershwin, Irving Berlin, and Cole Porter, or through this masterful moment in the early 1960s when Sinatra and Dean Martin and Tony Bennett and Johnny Mathis and those guys were still singing extraordinary songs.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the fellas and what fellas you are singing tribute to.
Well, I'm paying tribute to Sinatra and Tony Bennett and Johnny Mathis and let's see who else, Mel Torme. And among the fellas that are well known, there is a fellow who is not well known to the American audiences. His name is Johnny Hartman. He had a very brief stellar career, but the reason I wanted to pay homage to him and get his name out is because he made this one album with John Coltrane that was so spectacular, and on it he had a very magnificent baritone voice, very lush sounding. He recorded a song called They Say It's Wonderful, written by the great Irving Berlin, that came from his show Annie Get Your Gun. and it's so gorgeous. And so I wanted audiences to really know about him.
Now, your voice is so beautiful. Talk about what you did artistically to sing some of these songs, Melissa.
You know, to sing these songs is so relatively easy. Everybody knows these songs. Mm-hmm. When we actually recorded them, I didn't do more than 3 takes ever. Wow. Also because these arrangements by Peter Hume, Terry Wallman, our friend, David Catalan, a graduate of Citrus College, and Doug Walter, they were so lush. The sound was so huge. And because I've grown up with that form of musical arrangement, I felt very cozy and peaceful because I understood how to get inside these songs. Mm-hmm. This is not a stretch for me. You know, when you're recording original material, you have to sort of find the balance with what you have tried to create as a writer and what you're trying to project to the listener for the first time. But with these songs, the world knows these songs. So it was such a privilege to step into them in the midst of this huge band and the string section and harps and horns. It was really, really a gift.
Didn't you just release a music video?
I did.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yes, for the first single, Ain't That a Kick in the Head, where we paid tribute to Dean Martin, the great
I love
Dean Martin.
it.
You know, I just love that song, and I love his suave, debonnaire approach to everything. And so David Catalan did the arrangement, and David is a fierce horn player himself, and he has this real understanding of what deep, hard swinging can be in a horn section. So he wrote this incredible arrangement, and we have a video of it.
Yes.
And it just was released as a single, and I just found out it was Billboard's most added single of the week.
Oh, of course it is. Oh, I saw it, everybody. I watched that video many times. It is fabulous. It's shot in black and white.
Yes.
And you were telling us about the gentleman who shot the video.
Yes, Paco Silva. He edited from the raw footage that we recorded, and it is in black and white, which I'm thrilled about because black and white is so beautiful. And the jacket that I'm wearing, the white dinner jacket that I'm wearing on stage in the video, belonged to my dad.
Really?
Yes. And he was a bassoon player, and he wore it in the orchestra of the 1984 Olympics out here in Los Angeles.
That is
really swell.
Fabulous. And you know, Melissa she's adorable in this video too. She's bopping to the music. It has that old-fashioned feel to it.
Well, swing is a very specific form of style of music.
Yes.
And it's not done that often anymore.
I love it.
And this song was written as a hard swing originally when Dino recorded it in the original Ocean's 11. And so to have it orchestrated in that vein is just thrilling.
Oh, let's talk about Citrus College, because this is where you did your last I Gotta Love the Life. Mm-hmm. You did this CD. Let's just talk about this fabulous college.
Right. Citrus College is a community college in Glendora, California. And years ago, I was invited to be artist in residence there, and I have remained artist in residence. And they have a fantastic state-of-the-art studio, and it's enough to welcome in at least 70 players. It's really huge. Wow. and magnificent sounding. And their engineer, Tim Jaquette, is also their professor of audio arts. So this is not only a recording studio of professional standard, it's also a teaching studio. So young students come in and watch and can partake of musical collaborations. In this last album, You Gotta Love the Life, I had guest artists such as Stevie Wonder.
Oh, just Stevie Wonder.
The late Al Jarreau, our dear friend,
yes.
and Dionne Warwick. And for them to see a musical collaboration between me and my musicians, or me and Al Jarreau, it was thrilling and new for them, and vitally important. And for this latest album, The Fellas, I was talking with Dean Bob Slack. He's head of the audio and performing arts department, and he was asking me if there was a way that I could incorporate their Blue Note Orchestra, as I said, made up of students and alums and professors, into a project. And I was thrilled that he asked. And I told him about the idea of the fellas, and within 40 minutes, it was a done deal.
That's
amazing.
It just gave me chills.
Yeah,
because
the album was recorded. The 8 tracks were put down in one day. I mean, the thrills and the chills galore. I'd never recorded anything.
That's unheard of, actually.
So the whole album was recorded in 2 weeks. It was just
oh my goodness, it is amazing. And I'm telling you again, everybody, I saw this video. You can just go to YouTube and check it out. It is fabulous, and share it. Now, there is a special guest that comes and sings with you and does a duet.
Yes.
So just tell us anything you'd like to say about it, because I know it's a little bit of a secret too.
Well, my precious friend Barry Manilow agreed to sing a duet on The Fellas. It's the only duet. And he came up with the idea of he and I singing For Me and My Gal as an homage to the great silver screen star Gene Kelly.
Yes.
And that was originally done as a duet with Gene and Judy Garland. And Judy Garland and Ella Fitzgerald are my psychic godmothers.
I can see that.
Yeah, and so it was. And Barry and I have been friends for decades, and we come from the same musical sensibility. We love musical theater. We love great singers, and so I went down to his place and recorded it in his studio. I recorded the vocals, and then Peter Hume, my dear musical director and beloved friend, came up with a superb arrangement of For Me and My Gal. And there is a video that will be coming out with that, and it's just delicious. And when Barry came to Citrus to hear the track of it, he was so impressed with the quality of the education, with the energy and vibrancy of the kids, because musical education really saved his life. And he asked what it took to get into Citrus College. You just have to graduate high school, and if you want to get into their music department, you are fitted with some group who will service your whatever level of knowledge you have. It costs about $500 a semester.
That's so affordable.
It's just incredible. I mean, it's really amazing, and so it's really a blessing.
Okay, well, again, that video, we're looking forward to it being released.
Yes.
Now, talk about, Melissa, where everybody can go and hear you do your beautiful new music. What's the tour date or tour dates?
You can go to melissamanchester.com and find out the tour dates.
Great.
I will be unveiling the album in New York at Birdland.
Oh my goodness. And I know. Go ahead. Sorry about that, guys.
It wasn't the lottery. So I'll be at Birdland on 9/11 and rolling it out. And then I'll be at the Armstrong Theater here in Torrance on September 8th.
I'm going to be there.
Yes, with...
22nd.
I'm sorry, September 22nd.
Yes.
I apologize. The album comes out on the 8th.
Oh, okay.
September 22nd is the performance at the Armstrong Theater in Torrance with the whole Blue Note Orchestra.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's going to be swinging hard.
Okay, so September 22nd, everybody, in Torrance. If you live in Southern California, you better be there.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be there. That sounds fabulous. Plus, New York, you get to go to your hometown.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And I know you had talked a little bit, Melissa, in your video about, and when you were talking about the kids, how important it is for the kids to learn this music, to know the importance of this music.
Well, the thing that is most touching is because these are such fantastic arrangements that the expectation of the kids to play this and play it magnificently is set in stone.
Yes.
And the kids so understand that they are part of a larger adventure than they have ever experienced, that they not only reach the expectation, but they exceed And that is thrilling. You see the light in their eyes, and you see their connection with passion and a dream for the first time.
Well, this is something, and it's a little pet peeve of mine. I really believe that the historical significance of jazz, and coming from that era of which you're sort of honoring a lot of these different singers, is getting lost. And so it does need to be kept and preserved.
Well, it gets lost because musical education gets gutted from most public schools, and what educators frequently and government officials mostly frequently miss the point of is that arts education is all about self-discipline.
Yes,
it's all about internalizing expectations and disciplines of the arts, whether it's dance or drama or music education. And so while kids are going through their teenage years filled with angst, at least they will have part of their day, if they are fortunate enough to have arts education, they will have part of their day where they learn an artistic discipline and the feeling of passion, the connection with passion, which they can move forward into their lives.
I love that. This woman is so wonderful. I'm so honored to be sitting next to you and having this interview. This just means so much to me. And I know everybody out there that's watching. Hi, Willie. Anyway, okay. So now, this is kind of a fun question.
Yeah.
If you had your choice of fella besides Barry Manilow who could have come and done another duet with you, who would you have chosen?
Well, of the fellas, I have sung with Johnny Mathis before,
lovely.
and I'm honored to say that Johnny and Mel Torme recorded songs of mine. But the one of those fellas left that I would still love to record with is Tony Bennett.
Oh my goodness. All right, that has to happen. Absolutely, your voice and his voice together would be so lovely. Okay, now you said that this album is sort of 1987 you did tribute.
89, yeah.
Oh, 89, I'm sorry. 89 did tribute. So why did it take so long?
Nobody was really interested.
Oh, okay.
It's very costly to put a big band in a room.
Yes, it is.
And you know, there's my time and then there's God's time, and that's what I have faith in. And so when this was presented to me as an actual option, because I had worked with the Blue Note Orchestra before, there was not a hesitation. I knew they could achieve it because I know that Bob Slack is such a magnificent conductor, such an incredible head of the music and performing arts department at Citrus College. I just had no fear that the kids would be able to achieve excellence in reading these charts, and that a good time would be had by all.
Well, a good time is going to be had by all when we hear her newest music, when we see Melissa at Torrance on September Armstrong Theater, September 22nd.
Right.
Now, Melissa, is there anything else you would like to say about your 21st album or the music industry at large?
Well, the music industry at large has changed entirely from when I started. You know, we were all subject to the whims of large corporations who were signing young singer-songwriters, and now, because of YouTube and independent crowdfunding, there's a real democratization of music. Anybody who has a flashlight and a microphone can post themselves on YouTube. But I feel that I have eased into the position of the village elder, and I'm thrilled. I carry the torch of all of those great, particularly women singers who were not surrounded by people who had their best interests in mind. So I sing the music of those great singers and of these fellas. I want this music to last because I just think it's vital. I think it's always vital. I think swing is a specifically American art form.
Yes.
And I want everybody to be reminded of how great it can feel, particularly in troubling times such as these. And I want kids to know how great it is to come together and play this kind of music or to sing this kind of music. It's fantastic, really.
It is fantastic, and it's, trust me, it's one of my favorite types of music. It's the swing music.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Melissa,
Always
for spending some time with me. And everybody, thanks for watching, and I'm going to post this on